The Indian Army carries out airborne troops insertion exercise in Ladakh at more than 14,000 feet. This is the big news that we're currently tracking. The power projection exercise here using commando paratroopers close to Ladakh's friction points. Big muscle flex demonstration by the Army and the IAF. A big message indeed to China. Here are some of the shots that we bring to you here of India carrying out airborne troop insertion, the exercise that's currently carried out in Ladakh at more than 14,000 feet. This power projection exercise using commando paratroopers there, close to Ladakh's friction points. A big muscle flex demonstration by the Army as well as the IAF. Indeed, a big message to China. A visual treat there indeed for India and maybe an eyesore for enemy countries. India and the Indian Army now carrying out airborne troop insertion exercise in Ladakh at more than 14,000 feet. This power projection exercise using commando paratroopers is close to Ladakh's friction points. Big muscle flex indeed by the Indian Army as well as the IAF, and a huge message sent out to China. Here, India there clearly showing its might. The Indian Army carrying out airborne troop insertion exercise in Ladakh at more than 14,000 feet. This power projection exercise using commando paratroopers is close to the Ladakh's friction points. In fact, this big muscle flex demonstration by the Army and the IAF is indeed to send out a big message to China. Let me quickly cut across to Abhishek Balla joining us live. Abhishek, here quite an eye treat here for India as the Indian Army carries out this airborne troop insertion exercise in Ladakh at 14,000 feet. A big power projection, flexing muscles. India now sending out a message to China indeed.
Definitely very strong messaging, Nabila, to the Chinese PLA. And, this exercise comes at a time when the Indian military is gearing up for another tough winter. At these heights, the enhanced troop deployment of nearly 60,000 troops is continuing for more than a year now. It's since May last year when the tussle started. And last year, at around this point of time, the Indian Army prepared with logistics to make sure they can sustain the tough winter when temperatures dip to minus 40, minus 50 degrees. And once again, they are at the same juncture where they are showcasing their capabilities to be fully ready for any combat operation, even when the conditions get extremely adverse. And that's exactly what this exercise is all about.
Stay with us. I'm going to quickly cut across to Gaurav Sawant as well, joining us right from the newsroom. Gaurav, a huge muscle flex for India and a message to China. This is one of a kind where paratroopers are being used extensively in this airborne insertion exercise, troop insertion exercise. Take us through the nuances of it. How has the IAF and the Indian Army really carried out this massive exercise up in the air?
This is validation of certain concepts and very significant military concepts, and a signal to our adversary on the eastern part of the line of actual control, which is China. What are these troops doing? The temperature in Ladakh at this point of time is already minus 20. The atmosphere is rarefied, so it's very difficult to breathe. At that altitude, at 14,000 feet, our troops are jumping off aircraft even higher, which means as you look at these pictures, they're all wearing oxygen cylinders. That's heavy weight. Plus, it's an insertion exercise. What's the signal? It's insertion beyond enemy lines, behind enemy lines. Again, a very important signal. The number of troops involved in this exercise, it's the Shatrujeet Brigade. So it's a brigade level exercise, and it's not just troops. There's also equipment that's being inserted. That's a very big signature and message that's going out, whether it's your armored personal carriers, other vehicles that are a part of this exercise. Being done through C-130J Hercules aircraft. Short takeoff, short landing, big quest for special forces operations. Also the fact that troops can quickly regroup from one point, be inserted to another point, and then carry out an operation. So quick movement of men and material is also something that is being validated here through this exercise at a brigade level. Big signal to the adversary and validating those points and concepts for own forces.
Well, let me cut across to Abhishek Balla as well. Abhishek, here you have the Indian Army and the Air Force coming together in weather conditions like this. What are the challenges and the difficulties the Army is facing currently to carry out this demonstration as more or less a practice and a show of strength and a strong message to China saying that we're very well prepared?
Nabila,
all right, if I can toss that question back to Gaurav. Gaurav, Abhishek's technical glitch there, if you can elaborate on that.
So what has China been doing? China, ever since the standoff started about close to 19 months ago, China brought in additional forces, deployed them for the long haul. They've been carrying out live fire drills, sending out one signal. India does these drills to send out another signal. Militarily, the adversary understands what are their choke points, what are their vulnerabilities, and what are India's strengths. India is playing, Indian armed forces, especially the Army and the Air Force in this joint exercise, play out to India's strength to neutralize what China may perceive as its advantage in this area. So these are very crucial mind games also that are on, simultaneously validating concepts of our Army, of our Air Force, quick movement of men and material from point A to point B to point C to insert them in an area where they may be required. All that the adversary also well understands, and it's not just a small tactical message, it's a big message that the enemies, whether it's their communication lines or whether it's their vital assets or vital points, India can also choke the adversary should push come to shove, is the signaling that goes out here.
Thank you very much, Gaurav and Abhishek, for joining us with those details. A massive statement being sent out to China as India carries out this really challenging demonstration to flex its muscle along the Ladakh friction points.